Hello, everyone, and welcome to our weekly world healing session. So just get yourself set up, relax, and take note of your breathing and do a little scan of your body. Notice where, there could be aches, pains, tensions, where you're drawn. Maybe something's energetically moving in the body, whatever's going on. Just notice it. You don't need to do anything to it. And we're going to see what's going to happen as we continue the session. So, the first thing we're looking at is in the right atrium of the heart is the soul of this body of your soul, not the soul of the body. The soul of the body is the seat of the soul, which is in your liver. That is the accumulation of experiences of this lifetime. So most of us are very identified with those experiences and everything that gets attached to them. So what we're going to do is work with the small intestine and the heart, but also the intellect areas of the brain. I'm not going to go into the details, but you might just feel all of those areas beginning to, here we go, it's already moving through the gut brain, where we're going to discern what is the experiences that make up this personality that is the being that you are versus the soul that is going through many lifetimes of experience and man or experiencing whatever this person, like this person is Terryann, and once Terryann dies there is no more this person, this character, though the soul will continue, and whatever unresolved karma I have will be put into the ocean of all the karma that people get to pick up. But my soul also would go, and or the soul, I'd say I am the possession of my soul. So my soul owning me or housed in me is going to go off and continue existence where this, body mind is going to dissipate. That's one thing that we want the heart and the small intestine to work with. Now that's super complex. And then most of us turn around and go, okay, I've got this soul, but I have all these experiences in my life. And those experiences make me feel a certain way. And I'm also identified with my experiences. So if you don't like disassociating your identities, this part of the session is not for you, so it won't happen. But for most of us, we would like to disassociate identities and be living in a place where we can trust ourselves. I want to trust myself. And if I trust myself, that trust needs to be of how I'm going to manage things, how I'm going to handle things in my life, how I'm going to attain my goals, trusting my intuition as well. If my intellect isn't working properly, I can figure out how to get to the goals that I'd like to achieve in this lifetime. Yet at the same time, goals and where we're going and meaning and purpose, these are all wonderful experiences. And yet at the same time, we need to encompass that duality of I am here having an experience, and that experience could be so juicy in very simple things, right? So the simpler something is, I find I enjoy it way more. So, if there's a lot of complex things going on in life, um, people, let's say going to a museum, it's wonderful, but there are a lot of people, there's a lot of noise, there's lots of sights and sounds. I get sensorially overloaded. So if you look at that plant right back there, it is a gardenia, and it's got these beautiful buds. So I come in the morning and I just look at the bud, and I am fulfilled with all the meaning and purpose of life, which brings me to what we're doing here is living with and in grace in our lives. That grace allows me to be authentic. How can I have that authenticity? Well, my soul definitively needs that simplicity. Yes, art is so important, but so is nature and the simplicity of nature. How graceful those plants are, how graceful it is to watch hopefully we'll be watching it bloom or over the next weeks as the buds grow. And I'm blessing it, hoping that it's going to survive in here and seeing that grace. This brings us out into there ourselves. We have lots of ideas, and um, the moment something triggers us, catalyzes us, we all of a sudden, kind of explode. Um, we lose our graciousness. I always kind of look and say, oh, I'd really like to um, have grace despite what triggers me. And so often it comes up, oh, if it triggers me and I maintain my grace, maybe somebody's going to step on me. That seems to be a little bit of a misconception. Authentically, we are involved with our values. Yeah, our values can be uh, part of what we learned and is stored in the liver, which is the seat of the soul. Yes, certainly. But there is a section of the brain that holds basically the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, you won't harm other people. And they are the 10 commandments. If you look at them in spiritual terms, we look at it as something that complicates your life. So, people have affairs. That's fine. It's not about, shame on you for having an affair. You have an affair, the consequences are huge complications in your life. So you're doing something that will definitively complicate your life. You'll make your life more difficult. So hence it's written in the brain. It's not about whether you can do it or you can't. Of course you can. You could do pretty much anything you want. That's not the point here. The point here is my understanding that certain things, when they cross the values of being human, we start to complicate things. So, a silly example, but one that really plagues me. If someone triggers me and I scream and I embarrass myself, I can't stand that. Someone scared me on the road and I screamed a very nasty expletive at this individual. And as soon as I did it, I was like so humiliated, but I was scared. I'm, I can find a million excuses as to why I did it, but it does not change that I lost my grace. And it was a very unkind thing to do, and it ruined my day. Did what this person do ruin my day, or what how I responded to their action? This is what we want to amplify today using love. So just tune into love as it is everything in the universe, every single thing in the universe. The divine, feminine, and masculine, whatever you want to call it. You want to call it God, you want to call it um, the universal, you want to call it, I don't know what other words you want to call it, but whatever it is, just tune into that love. If you can't, think of your pet, think of someone you love dearly, think of, you know, a plant. My heart just opens when I think of a flower, blooming that I've taken care of. When I'm holding my bird and he's, rubbing against my cheek. When my partner comes and kisses me. When I go see my father and I give him that kiss on the head every time I see him. When I embrace my mom. These are moments where that love is so big, and that is the only thing that um that has the well, for me, the biggest meaning. It doesn't have to have the biggest meaning for you, obviously, but tuning into that love helps us expand the energy. That's really so we've got the right atrium where the soul is housed. Then we want the vibration of the heart to move out like a scalar wave. I don't know if you're feeling it yet, but ever since I got to the soul and love, I'm feeling sort of a buzzing on my skin, as though I've connected to the divine, as though I've connected to all of you and connected to everything in the universe. And with this, we can make the change to have those values that we can respect in one another. Simple things like politeness, kindness, opening the door for someone and they say thank you. Simple things that, I think there's, what is that thing? Random acts of kindness. You're spreading that kindness. So if I'm in this love and grace of the universe, then I can live in gratitude for everything that is. If you think about how many times you complain, yes, it is fun to complain sometimes about things that are not working. Of course it is. Um, but as long as you're doing with a little bit of laughter and the rest of your day is in gratitude for every single thing that you have. I didn't think this was going to come up, but I'm going to bring this into the session. This also brings in abundance. I have quite a few loved ones right now who are struggling with abundance, people I know and I love. So I'd like to open that up as well, where love and that abundance of love, I've seen this over and over again, in the last 55 years of reading tarot, how money and abundance are intertwined with emotion and love, intertwined. The more you experience a lack of love, you can experience a lack of abundance in your life. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, right? The exceptions make the rule. But for those of you who are missing some abundance, look and see where you might not be loving yourself, trusting yourself, or connecting with nature, whether it's an animal, whether it's a plant, whether it's a tree, whatever it is, to connect so we can spread this vibration throughout our bodies so we're healthy, we're filled with bliss, and that people can see the love that we have as we walk through the world. Now, with that said, we're going to do a little bit of protection because, sometimes you can have a lot of glowing white light of love without a protective bubble. What that means is we aren't dissolving negativity. So, very often, right, we know this that a criminal can be attracted to someone who's very naive and take advantage of them. We know that right now in North America and, well, all over the world right now, people are calling elderly people and scamming them out of their bank account numbers, etc. So, we would like to protect that. And I'm going to do that, and you can visualize it. It's just imagining you're surrounded, like the love that emanates from your body fills a form. Imagine it's an egg shaped form around you. And then visualize a golden white light around that egg. And you will say out loud right now, I consciously dissolve all harmful and negative elementals that may come my way, regardless of source. And that will program the golden light so that it's burning your negative thoughts, your negative energy, so it doesn't go out there, and it's burning the negative energy coming towards you. So you're not just white light and love, not just naive. We have a discernment going on where the golden light is like a flame that will burn whatever is negative. Remember, it's negative and harmful elementals that may come your way regardless of source. Um, yeah, that feels really good. I feel like I've just taken a nice bath. So think about grace, which is, you can see that grace would be kindness, it would be being polite, it would be good manners, it can be how you appear in the world, graceful movements, but also this continuity between how we behave and how what we believe are our values. I don't even know if we just believe them. Um, I was listening to Jordan Peterson last night and I thought, oh, yeah, this is so true. Um, People often say, I believe this, I believe that. And Jordan Peterson said, would you die for it? And I'm like, oh my God, some of the things people say that they believe, would they die for it? That's ridiculous. But when I look at the beliefs I actually have, would I die for them? Yes. Yes. I believe family is most important. I would die for my family. No question about it. So those values, would I die for money? No. Like money is a good thing. It's a nice thing to have, but I would not die for money. Like, no. So that's not and you could probably figure it's not a big value of mine that money is so important. It's something that is comes and goes. But my values, yes, I would die for those values. So you can think about your values, and yeah, you probably believe in them. I think it's stronger than belief. Belief to me is so ephemeral. It's just like just doesn't bode true. But we do have um, certain aspects within us that are beliefs, and we have faith in them. And when they are something that is so important, we would die for them. I would not die for someone to understand me. I would not die for uh, someone to acknowledge my feelings or my identity. When I was very, very young, I think I was about 9, and yeah, where I grew up was quite homogeneous in culture, and I was the odd man out or odd woman out, I guess. And people would say, "You're not really Canadian." So, it struck me. I was a little kid, so it's like, I'm not really Canadian. Okay. I'm really Greek. Really? Okay. So, that year we went to Greece for the summer, and all the Greeks would say, "But you're not Greek, you're Canadian." And it really, you can imagine the little 9-year-old head goes, "Oh, okay." And then I thought, well, maybe I'm just not any of these things. I'm a person who or a child that exists in the world, but who cares which one? It doesn't matter. So after that, people say, what nationality are you? Well, I'm Canadian with a Greek heritage, but I don't identify as any of it. Um, it's not so strong that I have to hold it, especially since I'm against war. So if Canada ever went to war, I would probably go up to the north, get myself a polar bear outfit and go up there. I wouldn't want to fight. Of course, if it was going to threaten my family, I might. I'm a little old for that now. All right. So think about your values and um, what you would, um, what you strongly believe that, yeah, probably you die for it. And then help yourself extricate the values that are inauthentic, like certain things we have that are kind of useless. The one big one is, I need to tell you how I feel. No, your feelings are your feelings. Everyone's got feelings, and they're ephemeral, they're mutable, they're constantly changing. How I felt 5 minutes ago is not how I feel right now. 5 minutes ago, I had a little bit more energy. I felt that love coming in. Kind of getting to the end of the session. My tummy is feeling a little weird. So, yeah, time to end the session. One, two, we're never going to feel the same. Yeah. So it's really um, using your grace to assess where you're at and what your values really are. So you're not a pushover, but you also don't push other people over. Yeah, that's really important. All right, let's just breathe. Nice deep breaths, see what goes in. You don't have to, your body mind might not take all of that in, might not use it. Whatever it's going to use, it will use. Remember, all these sessions are the entire planet, and whatever you need you will be able to balance in your body mind. What you don't need, you won't balance. What super triggers you in what I'm saying might be the biggest thing that is going to help shift things. I don't know how. We don't know how. And if things are just like, oh, yeah, I agree with that, might not be too much. It might not do much for you. So just breathe and see, like I like to notice what triggers me. And when I find what triggers me, I'm able to have a little bit more um, grace in my response to something, even within myself. Even if I don't express it to anyone else, I care mostly about what's going on within. And then that will show to the world. You can right now, since we've gotten to this part, check your face in the mirror. I've noticed something shifted in my face. I don't know if you noticed it, but I feel like something's moving in this area. Like it's also hurting a little bit, but I feel like something's clearing and my eyesight is clearing a little bit too. So, anyway, just saying, go check your face out and see what's happening. Well, have a great week. See you next week. And please like, share, and subscribe. It'll really help me out. And maybe we could get these videos monetized so that I could do more. All right. Have a great day. Bye.